There we go. We're going to start off with our Team Give prayer, guys. So join me. Jesus, we just praise you and we thank you so much for all the blessings you have bestowed on us. I thank you so much for this team and the people you brought to us. I'm in constant awe of your generosity. I pray for each one of our coaches and customers and ask that you bless them in a special way and help them along this journey. Help us to grow as a team and truly work together as one team that gives generously and has you as the utmost importance. Without a doubt, with you as our focus and serving others, we will achieve the greatness you have called us to be. Thank you, Jesus. In your name we pray. Amen. So how are you ladies doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I have things I need to improve on. But we're doing good. Huh. So Emma's waving down there. So today, let's just, because it's a small number of us, let's just go through, well, first let me do some housekeeping before I forget. Sorry, everything's cooperative. So housekeeping-wise, let me pull up my notes here. Power lunch versus going live. So this is going to be big news for some of you guys, but I'm super, super excited about it. We're going to start going live instead of using Zoom. So a lot of coaches have been doing that. It just makes the most sense because there's no having to upload and download the Zoom, then upload it to YouTube, then upload that to, it just streamlines it, makes it easier. It automatically goes up in the team page and it's there in the file section. So that's going to be exciting. We still may do some Zooms here and there because I still like Zooms because I can, one, see your face, and two, I can share my screen. So sometimes Zooms just make more sense, right? But we will start using that live format to do these calls, and you'll just ask your questions and be active in the comment section of the live video. In addition, we're going to start, because I'm finding that these power lunch calls, like, it's always trial and error, guys. Like, we're always ever growing and ever learning and seeing what works and brings us the most joy. So if something's not bringing you joy, you need to make a change. So that's why we change so often sometimes. So we have like 3 to 4 people on these calls, and it's the same thing in the 5-star in the wall. Like, people are saying the same thing, you know, and they go live and it's still 3 to 4 people. So at random times. So that's what I'm going to start doing, because throughout the week, I have these awesome topics that I want to talk about and awesome content. And then the time comes to the power lunch call and I'm like, I don't have that passion anymore. Like, it's kind of like the topic is done and over with. So instead, I'm just going to start going live when I have that, like, want to teach something or want to share something moment. And I would encourage my leaders, my diamonds, to do the same, because you guys have great content to share and people want to hear from you guys. I know. And even if you're a brand new coach, like, and you're scared to go live on your wall, go live in the team. It's all good. We love you. And share, share something that's working well for you and something that maybe you need some help on. And then we can chime in and help you out there. But this month, so for this month, we are going to keep this 1 o'clock time, and we're going to go live because I want to see, like, get you guys kind of used to that live, how that works. You know what I mean? So we're going to keep the 1 o'clock time for this month. And we already have some scheduled calls too. So this 1 o'clock time, when we do have a scheduled call or something like that, we'll keep this 1 o'clock time. So you guys can just be looking for more live content to address just stuff that's happening currently. Even within the team, when we have questions coming up, we can just go live and answer them right then and there. Make sense? Yeah. So hopefully you'll get more of a passionate me, which I guess could be a good thing or a bad thing, huh? Because you guys have seen me too passionate before. So that's that news. And then for housekeeping. And then we also have the sneak peek. Like, and this is what I was talking about, things that bring you joy. So Tamara just posted today, I was like, did anybody even notice that we didn't have a sneak peek? And nobody even noticed, guys. That means we're not using the tools and resources. And I got into the training, like for the team training, and got caught up in that. And even, I'm being honest, like, real, genuine, authentic me, I can let resentment, and that's why you have to create change, because the guys that are on this call, most of you are leaders on this team. You've been here, you're diamonds, and you've been here, and you're creating trainings for your team and stuff like that. And you can get building resentment when you do all this work and no one's participating. And then your business falls off because you're not doing your vital behaviors. So I didn't do a sneak peek because I had Success Club 0. I'm actually at 2 now, but I was at Success Club 0, and that's not where my focus needs to be, nor, and I'm modeling here, nor is it where any of you guys' focus needs to be if you're not hitting Success Club and not doing your, let me rephrase that, not doing your 80% on your vital behaviors. 80% should always be spent in the basics, 20% on your team, okay? So I am going to do a sneak peek, though, next week to make up for that, partly because I think I need it, too. Like, the sneak peeks are a vital part of growing, for me at least, growing my business. So any questions about those two things before we get really moving and grooving here?
Do you need people for that sneak peek, Michelle, or are you all set?
I'm all set. I'm just going to keep it simple and just post the videos and automatic through Edgar or whatever. I'm just going to keep it, but I'm going to share you guys' videos. So it's going to be, did that make sense?
Invite to that one.
Say that again.
So we can invite to that one.
Yes,
then?
definitely, yeah. And I'll be making, go ahead.
What's the dates for
That's what I was gonna say. I'll be making a post of the exact dates. It's going to be sometime this next, I haven't decided if it's, I need to look at the calendar, if it's going to be, if we're going to run it, what is it, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Did that make sense?
Yeah, that'll be helpful for me.
Yeah, because a lot of people, like, there's pros and cons, just so you know my thinking on that one. I was trying to rotate every other month. As coaches, we like to invite on the weekend. But as participants, they like to participate on the weekend. But they can participate any day. They can review that later. So, so that's kind of why back and forth. So any other questions? No? Were you guys thinking about doing something though? Like, is that going to help you guys? Because let's talk about.
I think that'll help. Sorry, I didn't know if somebody else was talking. I think that will help because Kelsey and I were trying to figure out. We haven't done anything this month, and we're kind of in a similar boat as you were. Like, we got to take care of ourselves.
Yes,
we're taking care of other people right now in other ways, and we're like, we can't just like open up a sneak peek. So
that helps me too, because it's kind of like what I was saying, like with even the trainings and stuff. If I run a sneak peek and nobody's inviting, of course this time nobody even knew about it. But if nobody's going to invite or use it, then that becomes a waste of, like, my time needs to be spent in other ways. So if you guys are going to use it, I like 100% want to do it. I'm excited about it. Let's crush it.
Yeah, I think what we'll use it, Kelsey and I will start promoting it within our little training that we're doing. We're basically teaching our downline how to talk to people this whole week. Like, that's what our main thing is we're just like, how do we talk to people?
That's awesome.
So
I love it. So it sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I think we need it.
Okay, sounds good. And I'll be sure to use you guys' videos as well. Anybody else? Amber, you're on the phone. I know we're kind of flying here. Jessica. Oh, and we have Emily. Look at all these other people on the phone I didn't realize. Hey, Morgan. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Kim. Hey, Emily. Oh, and Heidi. And Kim. Did I say hi? We have a full house. Whoop, whoop. So hopefully you guys heard the beginning. Any questions about any of that? Because we are making a lot of changes there that I just announced. No? Okay. Feel free to unmute yourself and chime in. So since we have so many, now I'm changing gears too to what I originally planned on covering. So today, I had 2 topics in the back of my head. I need to decide. What do y'all need more? We're going to talk about everything free challenge groups. And hopefully we have a few of you guys here. So be prepared if you're running free groups. Be prepared to share, because this is not an area that I feel successful in. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a few tips, and I'm also going to give you a little bit of history about these free groups and how they came about, right? So I was running challenge groups before challenge groups existed. I was doing Shakeology groups. Shakeology used to come with some workout videos. So they would get the bag of Shakeology and they would drink the Shakeology for 30 days and do these workouts that came with it, right? That's what, before challenge packs existed, that's what I was doing. And then these challenge packs came out, and I was in the beta group even with corporate to test the challenge packs out and the prices and all that stuff. So I just continued to flow with that. Hopefully you guys can hear me playing with paper. So I just continued to flow with that and continued on with that. So free groups really came about through Christine Dreyer. If you don't know who that is, you should. She's like superstar, and superstar means 15-star diamond, but not just in like one business center, two, maybe even three. I could be making that up. She was definitely the first one to hit it in 2 business centers. So a very successful coach in our business, laid a lot of the groundwork for our business, and just basically very successful coach, okay? So you guys should know who she is. But and this goes to show, like, we all have our struggles. We all have things that we do well and things that we don't do well. She could not sell a challenge pack, and she could not run a challenge group. Like, she was miserable. She was not making any sales. So instead of like, giving up or being frustrated, right? Trial and error, she tweaked, and she started running free groups to lead up to challenge groups. And that's what worked for her. But you know what? There was a ton of us other coaches running challenge groups and kicking butt. I was one of those, right? So hopefully you can see, like, there's not a right or a wrong. And you can even go into the wall and people will ask, and you're going to have half of them that are like, you have to start with a challenge group. How do you run challenge packs? How do you get your coaches started? Running a free group gets some confidence and gets their feet wet, right? And then you have other people saying, just as many people and just as successful coaches saying, why would you start them in a free group? They're not making any commissions. That's not going to motivate them. That's not going to get them going. You need to get them making a little bit of money in a real group and, get them hooked, right? So there's no right or wrong. So I want to say, if you're watching other coaches and you feel like, oh, you got to be doing this or that both exist, and there's both 15-star diamonds, both successful coaches doing both ends. And that's with most things, guys. That's not just with free challenge groups, but that's what most things in this business. You're going to see both. And so for me, I have tried free groups more than once. I used to do them probably every 3 months. Then I got to the point where I wasn't even doing them at all, because it's kind of like what I started with before. You put in all this time and energy and great content, and like I would have zero. The only people who were participating were those that bought a challenge pack from me. So I just may as well did my own challenge group, right? Or were already customers, if that makes sense. And I wasn't really finding new people out of them either. So there's been a full year where I haven't done groups, okay? But I'm always still tweaking, because I'm like, so many people have success with them, and some of you guys want to do them and are asking and stuff. So I'm constantly like trying it out and learning. And I know I'm going to go ahead and move down to some tips, some things that I didn't do originally that I think I've shared with most of you that I should do, like could have maybe made them more successful. One is having your coaches and customers in the group actively posting about Shakeology and what workouts they're doing. For me, that would, start this free group, and it'd be all those people that signed up for free accounts, right? So if you have people already who know what a challenge group is supposed to be like and actively posting and engaging, that's going to help those other people, because they're going to see all this activity, and so they're going to do it as well. So combining with other coaches and some of your current challengers that are just awesome posters and engaged, having them, and tell them, reach out to them. It's a great way to plant the seed for coaching. Hey, I really need some help in this next group. I'm running a free group, and you're so awesome with your posts and so engaged. I'd love for you to help me out in this free group I'm running. Could you be an active participant? And that just lays the groundwork for being a coach, right? So that's one tip that I didn't really do. Another one is call to and I tried these, guys, but I still a work in progress. And that is call to action and build value in your group. So not just value of like anything, but build value in your products and what you have to offer. So your Shakeology and your the programs, right? And that can be harder to do because it's that fine line of being icky and balanced. Icky and like pushing your products. It's a free group, and but yet letting them know, the value of it. So I've been going live. I am doing a current group right now because, guys, I've been like, I need to. Like I was out of kind of customers. I need some new blood, new people or whatever. So I am doing a free group right now. And it's a vitality group, and I'm going live each day, sometimes twice a day, but at least once a day to give them their vitality tip, their vitality thing. And so that's another, getting tangent, but going live is another tip, because especially if one of the purposes, and I'm tangent, but your purpose for running a free group should be to find more people, so your friends, to invite more people to it, right? And you're adding those friends as friends. So you're finding new people, to introduce them to some of the products and just expose them to the products and stuff. And then yes, to move them to level 2, to move them to a paid group would be the reasons for a free group. So going live, if you have a lot of people that you don't know and you're trying, so for me, when I ran free groups, it was usually like customer leads and stuff like that didn't know me very well. And I really wanted to build that rapport. So going live is the best way for people to get to know you. So I'm delivering those tips, those vitality tips, live each morning. And then in the evening, if they're posting lots of questions or stuff like that, I'm going live and answering those. So that's another tip, is to go live. And then the last one that we were talking about is call to action posts. And there's another, so are all of you guys in TeamGive training? Shake your head, yes or no? Yes, okay. The day 4 post, there's a link to all challenge groups. There's a link in there. Most of those templates came from TKO, from Brandy Bots. You can thank her for sharing them with us because she's awesome. And so I went through, I'm not using, for my vitality group, I'm not using any of those, but I did pull some of her call to action posts. And I could see, like, I've never done this. This is why, like, this is another reason why I'm probably not, not pushing these free groups, right? And so a call to action post that she would do is she would post, like, this is happening, and this is what I plan on doing with the sneak peek that's coming up. Like, this is happening next week. Go to my page and comment, or just click on this picture and comment if you want in. And I post, so it'll be my call to action for the sneak peek on my personal page. But then she posts the link in the free challenge group saying, click here if you want in. You follow me? So that's going to increase visibility on your like page as well. And so you're already inviting to that next thing, if that makes sense. Don't give all your information away for free. You got to leave something on the table for them to want more. So a part of that is, so in this vitality group, I'm doing, my first day was nutrition. It's only a 5-day group. First day was nutrition. Second day is working out. Then the last 3 days are those, like, the lymphatic breathing, the running. Remember those? It's all those tips. So nutrition, like, they just want more. And all I did was poach Mitchie's ladder, which is from Team Beachbody. And it just is telling them what to eat. But they all want to know more. They want to know how much they should be eating. And can I eat this past this time and everything? I'm like, guys, this is only 5 days. If you want more information like that, there's a program, and I say, I'm not an expert. I don't know anything, I don't know anything. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. All I know is this is what's worked for me and it's worked for my customers. It's getting, we have programs that'll answer all those questions and get you the best results possible. So, don't give them the 21-day fix breakdown and how much they should be eating and when and all that stuff. Give them a list of clean food, if that makes sense. Leave something for them to want. The next day is working out. And I did a plug for, 15 minutes of movement is what they're supposed to be doing. They can do anything, run, jog, walk, whatever. But if you need suggestions, if you need to freshen up something, you're bored with your workout, we do have access to free streaming of tons of workouts for free for 30 days if you want to try it. So see, that's an easy, you're not pushing it. Kelsey, let me read your question here. Which group did you post the call to action suggestion post from Brandy? Was that TeamGive level 2? So that's something I'm going to be posting in my challenge group. Did you guys hear that? Kelsey's asking what that call to action post, where I found that. So I refer to TeamGive training. There's a TeamGive training, business basics going on, business basics 101. Day 4 was everything challenge groups. And there's a link in there that has tons of templates for challenge groups. And if you look through there, you can, for me, just looking through there, I can see how Brandy kind of builds that value of the products. and these soft call to actions. And some of them are hard call to actions, which I don't do enough of in my free groups. So one, I want to make sure that you guys know I'm not an expert. There's and there's nothing wrong with that. Like the fact that I've crushed challenge groups for 5 years now. You know what I mean? Like so don't change what you're doing if you don't need to. If running normal groups are working for you, you don't have to do free groups, okay? I do think the reason, like, maybe I struggle, and I don't know if you guys struggle with running free groups and getting those customers converted, the way you're brought in, if that's the culture of a team, is to run free groups, and they crush these free groups, and they all run it, and people are brought in that way, then they already know like how to do it, and it kind of duplicates itself. Does that make sense? So I haven't had much success at it, so there's not much for you guys to duplicate. So if you're struggling, it's probably because I don't have good duplication there for you. And that's okay, because I do have good duplication with challenge groups. Like we have, that is, and that's really the goal, is to get people on a full challenge pack, not because you're making a sale, but if they have goals to reach, that's their best deal. Like, it's guaranteed results. They will get better results following a program and drinking Shakeology than any other resource you can offer. That makes sense. So, and Emma agrees. So that's free challenge groups. I do want to offer, sorry, I do want to offer open up the mic for you guys to share maybe what's working well. So I'll start within free groups. So if you're running free groups, I want to hear from you, because I can learn from you, obviously. One, what's working well and what you need help with. So for me, what's working well is I actually have a free group, and I have some participants, a good mixture of participants and customers in there. So it's not all customers, if that makes sense. And then, so what's working well is going live, that I shared about. What I need help with would be definitely making sure, and we'll see how the end goes, but doing that the converting them to a challenge pack is what I would need help with. So anybody have, and you may all have the same struggle, but anybody have suggestions on that? And then we're going to go through and kind of share, those of you that are doing challenge groups, what's working well for you, and what do you need help with? So anybody want to help me out? Like, what have you found to convert your customers or your people in there? Nobody converting.
Okay, so I know you had tagged me, so I'll go ahead and answer. So I have only converted one person that I can think of successfully from my last group. The other ones I'm still talking with. So so what I try to do is I do try to put everybody on a friends list when they're in a free group, and that way they're on my Facebook friends list, and I can easily go to their page and add value. Yes, it's more work, but these are the people that I'm targeting. These are the people that I'm hoping to join with me. So then I add value to their lives every day that I see that they post. And then I private message them about halfway through. If they're being active, I'm like, oh, you're killing it in our free group. What are you liking best? If they're not being active, I say something like, hey, I shared this. I really thought of you when I did. Did you get to see that post? Just to see if they're even checking in. So I do that to keep up conversations. And then I really liked that tip that you just gave about, one about going live. That's not something I've done, but I don't think that was even available when I did my last free group. Yeah. And then I really liked the other one where you said the linking back to your personal page. Like, well, I like it. I know you haven't done it, but I think that those are two things that would be helpful.
Right in that.
Yeah. But I think that would be helpful. So the way that I've been able to connect with people by doing my free group is, and it seems like a lot of the people, like, I'm still talking with them. I mean, and my free group was in March, April, maybe April. Yeah, April. So it was last month. The last time I did one was April. And I know for me, that's my typical conversion. I don't convert people quickly. I've not been able to do that. So, I mean, for me, I still think it's going to work.
You're starting conversations. You're bringing in new people in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's
about.
Like.
Yeah.
So that's
and I think my first free group was in January. And from that free group, and I only had 3 people in it. and one person is now a customer. So, I mean, like there was just 3 people. It was just myself and 3 girls. It's, I've only done three free groups that I can think of. So 2 customers.
That would be considered a success, I think.
Yeah.
So, anything that you need help with challenge groups? Not that I can, but maybe somebody else on the team can come in.
Well, I guess this isn't challenge groups. Eventually, this might be a different call. So maybe I should maybe I should actually go live in TeamGive now that you've suggested that. I am struggling volume-wise. Like I'm just not. I think it's because I don't have a lot of people that are still like a lot of customers that are still actively on Shakeology, and I think that's where my personal volume is low. But it's just like I know my team is doing awesome. Like I'm so proud of like all my team and what they're doing, but I'm like, what is not clicking for me? Like, and then I'm like, do I even understand volume? That's the other thing.
At this point, I wouldn't worry. What your focus needs to be is Success Club 5 and 10.
Okay.
First volume will also come from a single sell of a program, right? But if you're hitting Success Club each month, that volume will gradually go up and up as people retain, and as you earn those free leads, because those free leads help with volume too.
Okay.
Am I making sense there?
No, yeah, that makes sense. I just now thought about especially those free paying leads. You're talking about like Success Club 10, that would help.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna hit that by tomorrow night. Get back to Diamond by tomorrow night.
So, who wants to go? Who else does free groups? Raise your hand. Like, unmute yourself. Share. Go, Kim. Unmute yourself. And Morgan, you're next. I can see you raising your hand just to prepare people. Yay!
Okay. Hey everybody, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good. Okay, so we've only done, I've only done 2 groups that are free. The first one, we had a ton of people, and it was kind of crazy. It was kind of cluster. I kind of liked it personally because there was a lot of activity, but for some people, for some coaches, it was a little too much, but I kind of liked all the energy of it. So as far as converting, I'm kind of like Tamara. I'm still hopeful, like not yet, but that could be part my fault too. I'm still, for me personally, who's horrendous at finds those things, finding new people and inviting and that kind of thing. This is good for me because it's been bringing in people that I've never laid eyes on. Like their friends find it, then they'll tag their friends and say, hey, come do this with me. And so we're friends on Facebook now. And I kind of have
Is that happening organically?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You can keep.
Is that what you're saying?
Because I was asking how you're finding those finds, like how you, because that's the purpose of the group is to.
Totally organic.
That's where
someone who sees it, who's never really perked up about anything before, they're like, oh yeah, let's do this, and they'll get maybe a couple of their friends. And I even had somebody, complete stranger, and she said that somebody told her about it at the gym, and I was so pumped. I'm like, who was it? She goes, I don't know. She was older and she had long brown hair. And I was like, okay, great. So somebody's seeing it, And I think the positives that I see, I mean, I wish I could say it's converted into sales at this point. Okay.
Interrupting you. Are you doing an event to invite people? Because you said people are inviting, like,
no.
How are people seeing it?
Just my post, and that's a really good idea. I should probably
post about it.
Okay, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'll do a call to action photo with me, meal prep or something, saying join me boot camp 5 days, whatever I'm calling it. Another good thing, this is just totally personal, but it's about vital behaviors, as far as it helps me get back on track every month, like in my brain. Like I know that I've got 5 days that I'm doing a boot camp, and it's kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone of working with a meal plan because like Amy did it the first month, and Amy's the rock star, but I can't keep dependent on her, to do that. So I have to say, okay, what would help me? Like I don't like to cook. So then I did, smoothies and mason jar salads and crock pot meals for 5 days. And so that helped me have more confidence in what I have to offer, if that makes sense. Like I can actually help somebody. Like
I just want to reiterate that for people, like what she just said. Don't copy people. Find your passion. Find what works for you. I did vitality groups. I don't meal prep. I don't cook. I did a vitality group because I need to make that more part of my habit. Those little things. So just want to reiterate that. Like,
right. And exposing people, like for us, we've been using that Made to Crave devotional. So like exposing people to what we have to offer in the full group. And so that is one thing that has attracted some people. Some people it's just the nutrition and the boot camp and whatever. And some people are like, well, that's kind of cool. And then I noticed like some of the people that at the end, they're like, well, I really missed that. Like I really want to keep going with that. So those people, you can invite them. And I have like the people who signed up for the 30-day free trial, actually did let a couple of them over into my other challenge group. And look, and we reminded them, don't forget to cancel, if you need to or whatever. But I ended up having like 4 or 5 people not cancel it. And so, I mean, it's not that much money, but like it was nice for, a 5-day boot camp. It was a good little amount of money. So
that adds up. That's residual income, guys. So that Beachbody on Demand may not seem like much, but it's just like the Shakeology, $30, one $30 sale doesn't make much, doesn't mean much, right? But that's half my commissions, right? Like, I mean, that adds up, just like the Beachbody on Demand. That's residual income. So good job. I hate that we're running out of time because I want more people to share, because I know Heidi's done some free groups. Jessica's in the middle of one. Anybody have other things that are going well with them that they can share? Because I think we all kind of struggle, because I struggle, so it trickles down, right? Like that's not something I do. So I want to make sure, share your tips, share your tricks. Heidi?
Michelle, I know for me, I'll jump in real quick because I've done 3. I've did 2 clean eating ones, and then this is the first personal development book club one that I've done. The call to actions don't work with me. Like no matter how cute the picture is or what the words were, I actually did the event invite for this one, and kind of like I did the call to action too, but I narrowed down with the event invite and actually specifically targeted people that I knew could really need it. And I think we ended up with like 20 people. I mean, I opened it up to other coaches because I knew that it would give me that, participation that I needed as well. And then Katie and I actually thought about even maybe doing like a sneak peek or a webinar of some sort afterwards, kind of toward the end, because if personal development is so big, in the book that we're doing is You Are a Badass, and if it's going to sit there for a month and tell people like you need to make a change, what better opportunity to be like, here's a coaching opportunity. So
love it.
It just started yesterday, but I think, and like you were saying too, that niche, like I did the personal development because it was a book that I wanted to read and that I needed to hold myself accountable with. But I found with the first 2 clean eating ones that I've done, like people were jumping in just for the recipes. And then like even afterwards, they were like, can I get more free recipes? And I was like, oh, that kind of wasn't the point of the free group. But, so like I've already had people that like as soon as they got the book started reading it, and they're like, so you're going to do a personal development book club like every month, right? And I was like, I don't know, let me see how this one goes first. But the event invite for me was definitely the way to go.
So I have 2 things to reiterate there. The group invite, you targeted people, because that's what I do when I use a group invite. I target the people I want to invite. And then did you follow up through private message with those people?
Yes, and the good thing with the invites or with the events, when you create the events on Facebook, it tells you how many people have like seen it out of the number of people that you've invited. So the people that I know that saw it, like I still followed up with all of them, but it was a different follow-up. It was like, hey, I saw that, you saw the invitation. Like, is there anything like, you have any questions? Is there anything that I can clarify for you? And then the other ones, I went back and I said, hey, I don't know if you saw that I invited this to you. And then I included that link for the event. So they were able to go back. And then I didn't add them to the group until they had 100% committed to the event and said, like, yes, I bought the book. So it wasn't like I made sure that they committed to that. So it wasn't the question of like, oh, well, they got in and then should I have added them or should I delete them? Or it was like, when you said I got the book in hand, that's when I was like, okay, fine. Like, you can get in.
I love it. So that's great. That's awesome. And then I forgot the second thing. Well, I'll go ahead and ask. I have yet to see how you can see who has seen your thing. How do you do that? Because that's the second time I've heard that. And I went and looked at my I can't.
If you look where it'll say like 3 people are going, 6 people are maybe, and like 86 people invited. If you click on the number invited, it'll go through and it'll say like all of the people, and then underneath it, it says seen by those people, and it'll put them like in order, like the first 10 people, and then everybody else underneath it, it won't say seen at all.
Got it. See, learned something new. And then the other thing was your personal development book. It was something along, I was just going to reiterate that, guys, like what she's doing, that's awesome. Because if a coach comes in with already, like, personal development is the, you know how I feel about that. Like, it is the vital behavior, the mother lode, vital behavior, right? The mindset. So if you have people, that's usually why people fiddle out, in my experience, is because they don't do the personal development. So if you have somebody, if you can bring them in, like Katie's onto something, if we can bring them in already on personal development and on that path, like, they're going to be that much more successful as coaches if they choose, if this is the path for them. So I think that's awesome. So I'm surprised we haven't been booted off. So we have 2 minutes left, it looks like. Anybody else have any other tips, questions? Like, this is a great time to ask. You have lots of people who've been running free groups, doing better than I am, that can answer you and help you out, guys. So anything?
I guess for me, sorry, I think it was too short of an event. It was only 3 days. And so I didn't have enough time to put the Shakeology points in there and like build up into Beachbody as much as I wanted to. And then I was kind of trying to make it rushed, I feel like. So for me, I think I learned that I need to do like a 5-day, because I did a step challenge before and I had really great outcome with that. And I actually got 2 customers out of that step challenge. And then for my invites, I did it on an event, and then I made it the group. And then with the invites, I said, if you invite 2 friends, your name will get entered into a giveaway. And it was just like a water bottle and a spiralizer, like a really affordable spiralizer, where it kind of tied into the group of clean eating, and then a sample packet of Shakeology. So that was really helpful for me. And I ended up getting 61 people in the group, but now I'm tying up ends to like, okay, now what? So I'm trying to do the rest of it.
So 61 in this group, or your step one?
For my clean eating one I just had last week.
Okay. And so now you're trying to move them to the next.
Yeah.
You could run, since it's kind of, and I'm just brainstorming here, and guys chime in. You could run something else in that same group so you don't lose them.
Right.
I'm not very creative here, but and you can just go live and be honest. Be like, guys, I felt like this was way too rushed, just 3 days. Feel free to remove yourself, but I'm going to tack on another, if you want to do 3 days or 5 days, and do something, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm making sense. Tamara, you're nodding your head. Do you have something to add?